Welcome to Built for This, the podcast where purpose meets performance. Hosted by business strategist and human behavior specialist Carly Pepin, this show dives into the real stories behind high-growth businesses. Let's bring life to your vision.
Hey guys, so welcome back. I'm very excited for today. I have Yakov Filippenko with me, and he is a seasoned entrepreneur with over 10 years of experience in IT and technologies, as well as scaling businesses internationally. As a product manager at Yandex, he led a team that grew products user base from 700,000 to 1.2 million and secured its entry into the international market. Subsequently, he co-founded SailPlay, which he scaled to 45 countries and eventually exited after it was acquired by Retail Rocket in 2018. In 2021, Yakov launched Intch, an AI-powered platform connecting part-time professionals with flexible roles. The company has developed a proprietary smart algorithm that streamlines the 126 billion market associated with the transition to flexible work and the quest for better work-life balance. During 2024, Intch has expanded its user base from 65,000 to 500,000 active users. So welcome, Yakov. It's so good to have you.
Thank you, and thanks for having me today.
Yeah, I'm really grateful. I'm excited to dive into this. I'd love to just get started with a little bit more just about Inch, just so people have certainty, they know kind of what we're talking about today.
Sure. So it's actually started when I was developing my first startup, and we just moved to the US. And when you're relocating to your very first international market and country, like you realize that some things that you can solve easily within your own home country, it's really hard to do. Like, let's say, to approach your very first customers or to hire your first team members, and that was the very first moment when I realized that your network is something important. At that time, our investors helped us, but like the idea was like, okay, it's not just like a fancy word; it's something that we can use, and actually we use on a like regular basis. And later on, when I left my company, my first startup, and I joined Altair VC, which is like Israel-based venture capital firm, and it was like during the pandemic, and some of our portfolio companies they were looking for ways how to hibernate, how to sleep and till like this winter. But some of our portfolio companies, like productivity tools like Deal or Miro, they started to skyrocket, and we started to investigate what's going on, and we realized that like it's a simple thing that people move to their places from offices, and even after the pandemic they don't want to come back. And it's actually a dramatic shift in terms of how people work. uh, and we realize that there is a new opportunity, new demand, but there is no product. And we started to think about it, and that's how we launched Inch. At the first version it was absolutely like different thing, but after a few uh, but like big pivots, we are like we designed what we have now. This is
Awesome.
it.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. And I'd love to start also a little bit more about your journey as well, because I know that before Inch you had SailPlay, and even before SailPlay, I know that there's a party like you really wanted to be an entrepreneur. So what even got you into starting SailPlay?
Yeah. So actually, yeah, I just graduated from my university, and I worked at my very first company, and then I like it was really bad environment for for young professionals, and I was like, okay, I probably want to build my own business sometime in the future, but I at that time I didn't have any expertise or experience or whatever. And I realized that I probably need to work at a large corp like Yandex, and I also would like to feel this startup environment. That's why I joined Lingoleo. And this, to be honest, I spent less than a year in each, and then I realized that okay, I'm ready. I discussed it with my CEO at Linkoleo, and we agreed that if I will find my own replacement, and at that time I was a CTO, he will help me with our first investment round, and he will introduce us to his investors. And actually, that's another point of view for your like for your personal network and your business connections. So I approached my ex-classmate from the university, Leonid, and this is actually another point for the, the networking. And yeah, so like, and we were like, okay, we both want to build something to launch, but we don't know what exactly we are building or what we will build. And we actually started with another idea. Then, like after a month, we realized that there is actually a pretty big competitor who that like already raised a couple of investment rounds at the moment. So yeah, we pivoted. We launched another idea, and yeah, that's how it began.
That's awesome. I love that too, because it's like you're talking about the relationship dynamic, and it's really cool how the first business started because of also the dynamics that you had with your relationships. This is very, very cool. Yeah. And then with
Yeah.
SailPlay, so I know that you wound up selling SailPlay. Is that when you go into these businesses, are you thinking we're definitely going to try to exit? Is that kind of part of the plan?
That's funny actually, because first of all, yeah, all of these businesses actually are like, let me be uh, pretty emotional. So it's like how we are going through the life, and we do it with people around, and like even businesses is something that you well, like you're building it with other people, co-founders or employees or partners. It's just like titles, but the idea that behind it always people. And uh, as a first business, as a first idea, we decided, like it was like, okay, we felt with our own idea, so let's just copycat something that was presented on the international market. And Leonid at that time worked at La Mode, which is like a copycat from Zappos. And the idea behind it was like you build your local player, and an international player like Uber or Amazon will go to your market, will launch something on your market. It will be easier for them to to buy you rather than to develop it from scratch. So we decided to copycat an like existing idea, and for that we bought tickets and went to Silicon Valley, and we met with an actual founder of the same startup in the US, and we discussed with them this idea. And he was, guys, to be honest, I left the company a couple of months ago. It's not official yet, but uh, I, I shared all of the details and materials with my brother, and for him it's just a pet project. And we were like, okay, he's probably don't want for us to have such motivation to build it. And we came back, spent like 6 months and all of our money. I mean, even that we raised, and we realized that it just doesn't work exactly with the reasons that he shared with us. Again, about network and networking. But like we were successful in pivot, so like we changed the way of how we work, and like we actually grew up like 100x in just 15 days, and that was enough to raise our next round and to pay salaries to our employees. That's the story behind it.
That's awesome. When you made the pivot, what did you guys wind up pivoting to? How did you make that decision?
Actually, we were blaming to each other for a week. Like every single day, we came to our office at 8 a.m. and till 8 p.m. we were just blaming to each other, and all other things. But there is a difference between when you when you have enough money, and the second thing is when you have to make the decisions faster. And in the second position, you don't do like all these bullshit things. You just, do we see money in this or not? And in that case, it was a like obvious thing. We were developing loyalty programs for brands like Papa John's. For Horeca firstly, and the thing was that it's really hard to integrate with point of sale. So we decided that we will put the iPads or Android devices similar behind their point of sale, and customers will be able to use it to earn bonus points. The problem is that the traffic is pretty low, and the idea was like pretty obvious now, but at that time we just realized, okay, what if we will do all of these things, all of these gamification mechanics, everything's the same, but we will do it not for your brick and mortar stores, but for your websites. And with Papa John's, even with just one client, we generated additional revenue to them, and this portion, our commission for new revenue, was much higher. Like it was exactly 100x to our previous results. This is it.
Awesome. That's really cool. Well, it's funny because it's something that now we see in stores all the time, right? Where I go in and there's the iPad and then it's my loyalty program. So that's amazing. And I'm curious as well, because as you guys like transitioned into this new stage, how long do you think it actually took you to really get it launched and going after the pivot?
To be honest, so like we had only 2 weeks. So the very first week we were arguing and we were blaming each other, and the second week we had to develop it, to implement it, and just 1 week we roll out it to our first 2 customers, and then we realized that this is it. We have revenue, we have product market fit, and all metrics were like skyrocketing.
That was very cool. I'm sure that was helpful for you guys in your day to day at that point.
Yeah.
And even that dynamic of just having the arguments and stuff, because it's a stressful time, right? And I think realistically, like that happens. What would you say was helpful for you, even just being able to move to the next step as you guys are kind of having this turmoil on the back end?
As I said, it's all about people.
Awesome.
The relationships.
Yeah.
That's actually interesting, because last week we had a team building event in Turkey. So we invited in the new company, we invited almost all of our team members who were able to come, and we discussed pretty the same things, but with employees and managers, and actually I believe that it works same way. Absolutely, all like it doesn't like it's not that important who are you, like you are, I don't know, a co-founder or you are a manager or an employee. It's just the thing of how, like, I don't know, it's like I filter people with whom it's comfort to me to work with, and other things are just titles, and they're not so important.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
that does make sense. Yeah, that's really cool. Hey everyone, it's Carly. If you're really resonating with what we're talking about and want to get clear on what truly drives you, what your core values are, head on over to my website. In the tools and tips section, there is a free values assessment. And this is a quick exercise that's going to help you to uncover what actually matters most with you so you can lead and live with more clarity, fulfillment, and momentum. And so I'm curious as well, like I know that when the company was acquired, you actually are no longer at SailPlay. So you got fired from SailPlay. So tell us a little bit about that dynamic, because I know that that was a big learning lesson and something that you actually are very grateful for.
Yeah. So like everything is about people and communications, and I was fired from my own company. That's my level of the skills. Yeah. We like when I joined an Altair VC later, after I was fired, I realized a simple thing that startups and this dynamic is actually all of us, we think that we are pretty unique in terms of like we have all these unique situations and so on, and but the thing is that I realized that startups that went through unsuccessful acquisition, like us, like SailPlay, we as founders and as like team, we went through the same path or trajectory that other startups. Like from when I was from the um, far away from the situation and was looking at it from the VC point of view, it was okay. I was thinking that I'm in a specific something, and I created it by myself. But the thing is that it's happening with all other teams in the same situation. So the idea was that like a huge company tried to acquire us, and they spent like 9 months on our due diligence us, and we made one major mistake. We invested in this process all of our resources. Investors supported us. They said that like, okay, guys, we will even in like in a fail situation, we will provide additional money. So you have to be in a strong position anyway. Otherwise, they will buy you for nothing. But even with that, we invested too much in this deal, and it failed like exactly like a couple of weeks before the final date. And it failed not because we not because we failed our due diligence, but because like within their structure, their M&A leader, for some reason he disappeared, and like and all this cycle started from scratch with us and with other companies. And yeah, it was, and then the thing is that when you are in a situation when you, like for 9 months in a row, you were like, okay, I'm a millionaire pretty soon, this mood, and then it's failing. You are starting to you have to you need to blame someone, and you can't blame yourself because you were like you know that you made right decisions, you were working as hard as you can and so on. You can actually blame the other side because I mean the acquirer, because they did their best. So like and this is the tricky thing, that you start to blame like is the most nearest person to you, and in most cases it's your co-founder, um, or your wife and your, I don't know, in your family relationship. So this is the thing, and yeah, and we were deciding what like what way what path we should choose, and I was voting for one. Our board was voting for more conservative approach, and I asked them, okay, we have to make this decision today, and I put this question, and they just voted against me, and for the next 3 months I was for the first time unemployed person.
That's awesome. What would you say
Yeah.
are like the lessons learned from that dynamic, and I guess how has it even shifted in Intch today and how you lead?
So the first thing that I realized that it's so uncommon to me to be unemployed. So for the first few weeks, I just I scheduled some meetings in a city center. I just like uh, I needed to I don't to do like business as usual, to talk to other people and discuss some ideas with them, and then this is it. That was weird, but why not? Second thing is, after a while, when I already joined a VC firm, I found that that not all of the questions could be answered by just not just like like this management frameworks or like YC frameworks and so on. And I don't remember how did it happen, but I started my second education as a psychologist, and specifically Gestalt therapists. And it was like an answer to some of my questions, like how this group dynamic works, and why people do these things and don't do these things, and so on. And this is actually the most important experience. I'm like by default I'm a mathematician, so like neural networks, that's my core, my major. And the thing is that actually now I'm trying to combine these two things, because we are in a world where every single company wants to fire their employees and to move this, allocate this money, so like salary, their salaries to in new data centers. And that's interesting because I mean, it's an interesting question, because it looks like, for me, it was that companies were building and are like exist to provide something to people, product, services, or even like salaries. And now it looks like companies are starting to live in their own environment without professionals. And our goal is to support professionals, to give them like in the best scenario, to be able to provide them some support to make their life easier, or even to help them, I don't know, to live their best life, like to travel, to be independent from employers, and so on the financial crisis and so on. But the idea is that we can't do it without doing another thing, without offering something useful to businesses, because it's like a contract. And but the idea is that we do it for our customers, for both sides, for businesses and B2C. And the same thing we are trying to provide to our own internal customers. I mean our employees. Same approach.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I love that dynamic too, is just like you're still focused on the people, right? And who are the people at the end of the product and the service, and how can you actually serve those and keep focused on them? I'm curious as well, because in that transition period, right, you said you had a couple months. What made you decide to start another company?
Yeah, actually, so I had like, in my opinion, I had three ways of how to handle it. The first one, I was like, okay, I'm pretty good at marketing with Horeca companies, so I probably could be a consultant. And this was fun because I very first customers, they approached me directly, and they were like, okay, help us with these things, and it started to grow. But I decided that it's not that what I want to do, because it's like you have to work with different companies in parallel, and the thing is that you don't own the output. It's like, it's just you help them with that. It's not my thing. Another option was, okay, I was like, I want to work in oil and gas. I don't know why, just like oil and gas. And they actually, one of the companies, they tried to make their own pivot from oil and gas company only to a consumer company. And they had a bunch of gas stations, and like they had almost 5 or 6,000 or 25,000, big number of gas stations. And they were like, we want to improve our UX to our customers, and so on. And the role was pretty high. It was something like CPO. All these benefits of working in a huge corp. But I realized that if I'm going into this, I will forget everything about doing a startup and so on. And the third option was to join another startup. They offered me. It was a Silicon Valley based company. Our investors, we had common investors. They introduced me, and they sent me an offer. But at that moment, I realized that like I want to make another startup, and it's like it will be not fair to them to tell them that okay, I will work on it and like leave in 2 years. So that's why and my own investor he called me and said like, hey, why do you want to leave our family? And I was like, what do you mean? And he said like like join us, like you have expertise in tech and in marketing tech and so on. So and we discussed it from scratch that it's a temporary thing. And as I mentioned earlier, the idea of Intch, it was raised in when I was at VC firm, and actually Igor, who is the general manager, who actually suggested it to me. It was absolutely different thing, but in the same vertical in the future of work. So yeah, that's how it happened.
That's awesome. That's really cool. And when you started it, did you start it on your own or do you have a co-founder again?
Yeah, I have a co-founder, and actually he was um, like at first company at SailPlay, we it was hard to hire new developers, so we have decided that like, okay, we are going to as a startup, we are going to launch our own summer internship. So we hired him as an intern Python developer or something. He was a fourth year student, and then he was promoted to middle developer at SailPlay, and he left, joined another startup, and then I asked him to participate at Intch, and now he's my CTO and co-founder.
Oh, that's awesome. That's amazing. I'm curious too, because when you think about like who you're going to pick and who you're going to select, what were some of the qualities or the things that made you decide, like, I really want to reach out to this individual to work with me at Inch?
Uh, to be honest, I believe that I have some specific point of view on it. Obviously, the first thing is like your hard skills, especially now when you because now we like to hire for part-time. It's really amazing thing. But the second thing is like your soft skills and your vibe. And actually, it's not how like I have my own point of view, but the thing is that we already have established company, and final interview is actually not like we don't invite myself to the final interview. The core team typically does it, and they are the final filter. And if it's like path as a filter, it mean that all this like this person will be comfortable to work with the rest of the team, and the rest of the team will be comfortable to work with this person. Because it's like someone asked me like last week that you can't push your values to a specific person, and the answer is definitely you can't. But the thing is, you can filter people, and we just make a few filters, myself, our HR, and the team, and I believe that it works perfectly well. We have some false positive results, but like overall, I'm pretty satisfied with it.
That's awesome. What are your top filters when you're looking to hire people?
Problem solving, obviously. So like the thing is that like we don't even ask standard questions like what was your I don't know, setup in your previous company, like who was like above you, who was near to you, and so on. That's because like people they like know how not know that they are well prepared and they like are telling you stories and so on. And it's actually not that important. It's much more important. Like, okay, like yesterday we had this case with one of our customers. Here the screenshot without his like personal data. What are you gonna do? And this is a real case scenario. So and it's not even important of how exactly they will handle it. I mean, in terms of will they get the same answer as you? It's much more important how they will think about it and what kind of resources they will ask for and so on. And like how they like when you ask a ChatGPT, they are like, I'm analyzing what this log is the most important part of everything. And with this answers, you also see like their candidates soft skills in terms of will they like I don't know how he or she will communicate with other team members. Will it be like I'm a standalone player or I am a like team member or how does it's like all of these things are will be covered and integrated within this log. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. Yeah. Oh, I think it's definitely wisdom. It's like we're looking at not just the people, but also these values behind it, just to make sure they fit with the company. And I'm curious too, because I know that when you were at SailPlay, something that you described yourself as was the smartest person in the room, right? And that was back in the day. So what would you say that that dynamic cost you?
That's actually no, first of all, I was fired, so
That's one of
it
them.
costed me my job.
Which worked out, by the way. Yeah. Really, really well.
Yeah.
Uh,
But it's actually you are limited. Like all the whole company is limited to your own capabilities, mental, I don't know, knowledge, everything, and how many decisions you can make. It's actually it's not about like making smart decisions um, to grow your company. It's more about making like smart decisions to prove that you are a smart person to other people. And it's actually it's probably the opposite to building a healthy startup. So yeah, and specifically making decisions, because like when you need to make every single major decision, and it's like you actually the first thing you can't hire top professionals, because top professionals, they want to make their own decisions. They want to feel that they are their decisions are important, because if they will fail, I mean make wrong decisions, it will push your company and other team members back, or like even I don't know, destroy something. And this feeling is really like a drug. Second thing is, obviously you can I don't know make I don't know the exact number, but let's say 20 decisions per day. So even now, even with like 30 team members, I'm like I'm already like we make I don't know 120 200 decisions per day. So like it's impossible to make it with good involvement. And you know, it looks like this is the main barrier for SMB companies, why they can't be like can't convert to big enterprises. It's just because they're solving and optimizing not like the problem of growth, but the problem of like of a founder problem. So like This is it.
Yeah, that's awesome. What do you do differently now in Inch, just that has changed that dynamic where you've taken yourself out of that role?
As it's actually interesting. It's opposite of what I was doing at SailPlay. I'm hiring, like it's how to how to say it. Um, People at SailPlay, they were talented and bright, but the idea that for most important positions, we just specifically that are competing with myself, my own role and my co-founder's role, we just didn't hire people in the same area, you know? Like you can do whatever you want, like sales or I don't know, tech. But if I was like a CPO, so if you were like a product guy, we didn't hire you. It's like 1 million of reasons why we don't do this. And at that moment, it's Inch. I'm actually trying to hire people that are smarter than me. That's the idea. And it solves. It's hard, but it solves all of the problems with scaling, with decision making, with discussing hard things, with asking hard questions. All the things could be solved with just one simple thing.
Hey everyone, it's Carly. So, if this conversation is really hitting home and you want to get a real snapshot of what's working and what's not in your business, head on over to my website in the tools and tips section and you can have the business performance health check. In just about 15 minutes, you're going to see where the friction is and where your next growth opportunity lies within your company. That's awesome. I'm curious too, because when you say like there's also the part of it that's hard, like what is also hard about hiring smarter individuals?
Except that it's punishing your ego. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But the hard thing is how to answer the question why these people will work for you.
Yeah.
If they're smarter, probably they can like launch their own company, startup, whatever, or I don't know, do something else. And if it's so obvious that they are probably smarter than you, why they will join you? Um, and it was a really hard, tough question to me to how to answer it. And like I personally invested in it for like a few months, and I realized it just like a few simple things. The first thing is, actually, it's not about you uh, and your ego. It's also about other team members. So if you can hire very first 2 to 3 employees, A players, to sell your company, to sell like the idea that the next person should work with you, is just to put all of them on a call, and A player will see other A players, and this is it. Like you just you sold your idea through your team members. If other smart people are working on it already and they believe in it, so it's easier for a new person to believe in it. The second thing is, yeah, as I said, this person, you have to structure your relationships in a way where he or she will make major decisions, and the results will be and the call will be on them.
Mhm.
That's what all of them what they are looking for. Yeah, and there are a couple of advices like this, but but they're pretty simple and pretty straightforward. So if you can handle this like 3 to 4 rules, and obviously you can pay enough like money, but that's not that important. If you can handle all of it, you can build teams that could beat or can beat other big players in your
Oh,
market.
that's cool. I love that though. I love like getting them involved because you're right. Like they can sort of identify the same sort of qualities and stuff. So it's like, hey, who in this group is actually going to be an A player. I love that dynamic. And I have a question too, because I know that you mentioned that Intch is already bigger than SailPlay was when you sold it, and that you expect it to be a few times bigger than it is today soon. So, what did you do differently to be able to actually make that happen at what it sounds like a faster pace?
The interesting thing is, uh, I was chatting with ChatGPT, and that was the answer. I'm joking. The reason is that just we we made a couple of good hires 2 years ago. Actually, we hired them on Inch as part-timers.
That's
That's the most
awesome.
interesting thing. Yeah. So we're using our own service. Yeah, and we pivoted, the first thing. The second thing, we launched our first successful acquisition channel, which was like Instagram. And yeah, and since then we are growing, and now we have two more teams that are working on different aspects of our business, so like new revenue streams. And the idea is like actually hiring uh best talent is also a way of how you can scale it, because like obviously I was like the whole last year I was like, okay, we need a second revenue stream. We have to develop our like second product within our ecosystem. And I was, um, you know, I was speaking about this idea the whole year. And at like November, I realized, okay, I'm smart, I'm good, we are growing, my team is the best, but we like do not have enough mental resources to work on another thing within our company. And since then we hired our second team, which works near to us with the same core product, but like with another angle or way of how to think about us. And now we are launching our third product. It's at the beginning, at the early stage, but I hope that uh like closer to the end of the year we will show results even better than last year.
Yeah, that's very cool. I want to circle back to something too because I almost forgot about this one, but I was curious. Because you even mentioned that the individuals that you hired, they started at part-time. I love that they came from Inch too. It's such a great story for you guys of how it worked out so well, your own product. When you hire individuals, you did mention that you do hire a lot of part-time individuals. So why that strategy? And I'm curious how many people are part-time, how many people are full-time, and it sounds like sometimes you're just transitioning them into full-time. Tell me a little bit more about that strategy.
And sometimes we even transfer them to part-time from
Yeah,
full-time.
just in case.
Yeah. But as I said, like the key question is how to hire the best professional,
Mhm.
and it's actually a really hard thing. And but the obvious thing is that best of the best, they already have uh their jobs, and they don't want to. And like two years ago we were like a no-name startup, and it was hard to hire people from, I don't know, growing startups or from big well-established enterprises. uh and part-time is actually the key how you can approach these people, and your offer to them is not like, okay, we know that probably we can't afford you for full-time for a few reasons. First one is probably you're building your career, and we are a no-name company, so like it's hard to like to imagine that now you're working at Google or Microsoft, and now you were and at no-name startup. The second thing is without equity. The second thing is we in most cases we are not sure about, let's say, acquisition channel, which one will work, and we don't want to hire a general CMO. We want to test, I don't know, Instagram with the like best talent or professional in specifically in Instagram acquisition that we can afford. And second thing is that we are like paying from 30% to 50% for two part-timers in comparison to their full-time salary. So the idea that with the same budget we can test 2-3 times more than with full-timers. Fourth thing is typically you hire part-timers as contractors, so which means that for you it's like it's much easier to say goodbye. It doesn't work. We don't work anymore with you. But for professionals, it's actually, we know that a huge portion of our part-timers, they switched from one full-time job to three to four part-time jobs. It's a way for them to protect themselves from layoffs, which are happening right now across the US and other countries. And actually, with this approach, they are earning a bit more. They can travel. They are adjusting their schedule, and a lot of benefits that they have. So this is actually a win-win situation for both for companies and for professionals. Yeah,
Sorry.
but the idea is that like the key question is how to hire top talent, and you have to offer them something unique. And part-time job, part-time way of how like is an option.
Yeah, that's great. I love that strategy. I just hadn't heard anyone doing that before, but I love that dynamic too of we want to test out these things. We're not sure what would work best. Like, let's hire a couple of the top talent in part-time, which kind of equates to one full employee, but you're still able to try like multiple different strategies at once. That's very cool. And I know a big focus for you as well is making sure that the environment is great for your team to do the best work. So what does that actually look like functionally inside Intch as you create this environment that just makes it inspiring for people to work?
To be honest, it's like it's more like a cultural thing. But recently, last week, I tried to put it in words. And the first thing is it's about like metrics and ideas beat hierarchy. And during my presentation, literally my product manager, he like we were discussing how do we like the thing is that we think about us not just like a company that develop an app or web app, doesn't matter. We also do a lot of other things. For example, we participate in conferences and do like PR stuff. Obviously, it's like helps us to grow. But other thing is we are also like speaking and sharing our knowledge about this field, about part-time jobs, and the way like we have like pretty good understanding of what people actually want. They can't in some cases they can't discuss it with their employers, like even like remote work and remote environment. It's like it's now like companies are trying to push their employees to go back to their offices and so on. So we are trying to make all of the things that we can to spread the idea. And when we discussed it internally, like I said, like, okay, we like here is our product team, but we are doing not just like our product, our app. We are also do like PR and so on. But the problem is that you don't read it. And my own product manager, he corrected me, and we have this idea that we shouldn't talk about our product. We should think and talk about how we like help people to be better versions of themselves. And he said like, okay, you are telling us about your PR stuff that you are working on, but the idea, tell us what are the benefits to us, why we will be better at our jobs, at our lives, and so on. And it was like an illustration for us that like in our hierarchy, he's like I'm his manager, but the idea that yeah, he used his this idea, and he proved to me and to everyone else in just 1 second that I'm wrong at something, and I'm doing something not that good. So the idea that like if you have numbers, you can prove it, or your idea is just like everybody understands that it's better, then we will deploy it, we will develop, we will support it on each like level or layer. That's the first principle. Uh, and yeah, all others I would say that they are related, but pretty the same. And yeah, because everybody hates hierarchy, just like strong hierarchy is just like that. Everything that this is the thing that destroys creativity, I don't know, involvement and all other things.
Yeah, when it's too strong. Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. And I'm curious too, because as we look at the future of Inch, what are some of the big goals, the things that are you guys are working towards that we can kind of look forward to in the future?
Uh, to be honest, that's a tricky thing because looks like we started this startup during the pandemic, and like COVID was the thing. Remote work was the thing. Then a year later, AI launched, and now it looks like every single company they're cutting their budget, and they are uh, um, they use this AI thing to be a good guy in a bad situation where they um, do layoffs, and they say that it's not just because we I don't know, can't raise money or something. We are replacing them with AI. But the thing is that nowadays AI is the thing, and many people are uh, like they have some fear, specifically people like 40 plus, 50 plus, who are old enough to get a new, I don't know, education, new specialization, something. Next year probably something different will be at the top, like for example, this few wars in the world right now. Uh, it's also like I believe that it will change of how other countries think about their IT infrastructure. So I believe that, let's say, uh, most governments will decide next year that they have to have like local representatives, local data centers, all of these things, and all these changes will affect of what we do. But
Mm,
the core thing is uh, that what we discussed at the beginning. Our goal is to support professionals, and by like, and to do that we have to offer something to companies, and we have to be on the same page with local with current environment. So like,
mm.
I don't know what will happen next. This year we are developing 2 new products, and we will launch them pretty soon, and as soon as they will be ready we will announce it.
That's awesome. No, it's very exciting. And I love that too. It's like you guys have this main core focus and goal, but there's also realistically like a lot of different things going on where the landscape is changing a lot. So it's like, how do you guys adjust as you work towards these goals? And I'm
Yeah.
curious. Oh, yeah, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, it's just like really strange thing because the like of how people work, the like 8 hours working day and 5 days a week. It's actually, it was implemented massively first at Ford's factories,
Hmm.
like more than 100 years ago. And most of us, we are, I don't know, for example, the US, it's like a mostly I'm not sure about the exact percent, but roughly, let's say 50 to 60% are in the service economy. Uh, they are not, uh, they do not produce cars and or working in a factory, but it's still hard job. But again, it, like, why do we work 8 hours a week? Yeah, but and it started to change during the pandemic, because pandemic, like we were starting work from home,
Yeah.
and now it looks like it's changing every single year. So like 100 years without any changes, and now we are there are like tectonic shifts every single year. So we
Yeah.
have to be adjusted to it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. It'll be interesting to see how it comes forward in the future. I know it just keeps changing currently, so it is exciting. And I'm curious as well, where can people find you? Where can people find the company if they want to find out more information?
Sure. So just Google inch.org, and you will go to our website. It's like, if you're a B2B, just choose your goal, like to increase your sales, or to, I don't know, hire someone, and it will help you. I mean, our interface. And if you're a professional and you're looking for a part-time job, or you want to find some consulting roles and so on, just choose another way of how to create an account. This is it. And actually, one of the interesting thing that we have found is a lot of founders, actually, they are participating in both roles, as an
Mm.
employer, as an employee, which is also probably one of the things that will be common in the future.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. And I'll put that information in the show notes too. So if anyone couldn't write that down, you'll be able to click the link later too. And yeah, I really appreciate you coming. Thank you so much for sharing everything you did. This was really inspiring.
Thank you. My pleasure. And have a good day.
Yeah, thank you too. And for those of you guys who really enjoyed this, feel free to share it with someone else who you would think it's inspiring as well. And thank you again, Yakov. This was great.